I, Moses Kuria.
Nairobi is drowning, not just in garbage, but in politics. The capital that passed East Africa is today a mirror of everything broken about Kenya's governance. Potholes that could swallow matatus, rivers turned into sewers, and leaders who campaign more than they clean. But now, a new contender has jumped into the race, promising to fix it all. Moses Kuria, yes, that Moses Kuria, says he has heard Nairobi's cry. The only question is, has Nairobi heard his?
There's not going to be an election in 2027 for presidential.
Say that again.
Yes, there's not going to be a contest.
Let's be real. Nairobi is tired. Under Johnson Sakaja, the city has become a running joke. Trash piles in islands like small volcanoes. Drainage collapses every time it drizzles. And half-built projects stand as concrete reminders of good intentions gone bad. Sakaja came in young, polished, armed with digital promises. But halfway through his term, even the president has called him out. Just this October, William Ruto publicly scolded Nairobi's leadership for what he called filth and incompetence. That is a sitting president dressing down his own ally, live on television. The truth, Sakaja survived impeachment in mid-2025 only through an unholy alliance between Ruto and Raila, a political ceasefire that left voters wondering who really runs City Hall. That survival move might have saved his seat, but it burned his credibility.
Mimi nikianza broad-based, mulishika nare, but nilikuwa nimeona mbele that we must work broad-based the whole of Kenya together. So mambo ya porojo msikuwe na propaganda ni mingi.
And where voters see decay, politicians see opportunity. Nairobi's governorship has become a proxy war for 2027, a testing ground for national ambitions. At the front of this pact stands Babu Owino. Say what you want about him, but he connects especially with the urban poor and Generation Z crowd. His message is raw: affordable housing, jobs for youth, and end corruption. Polls put him around 35 to 40%, the clear early favorite.
Sakaja is ambitious, the ambition of an ant climbing the legs of an elephant with the aim of raping it.
Mheshimiwa, juzi while at State House, Sakaja called you fala. What's your response to that?
Fala. That's graveyard thinking. Sakaja is a cemetery. Cemetery of corruption, cemetery of incompetence, cemetery of poor leadership, cemetery of thuggery, and cemetery of Sisi kwa Sisi alliance.
Agnes Kagure plays the integrity card, civil society's darling but limited reach. Irungu Nyakera soft-spoken, backed by the state, but seen as too technocratic. And then there is Kuria, the wild card, unpredictable and unapologetically loud. Kuria's declaration came with his trademark flair. Nairobi cannot continue to be the city of filth, garbage and incompetence, he said, announcing his bid, and just like that, headlines exploded. This is the same Kuria who once served as Ruto's trade minister, later his economic advisor, before resigning dramatically on X, accusing the government of betrayal. His next move, target the capital, the same Nairobi he has never really belonged to. Critics call it delusion, supporters call it destiny, but everyone agrees it is classic Kuria, noisy, unexpected, and dangerous to ignore.
Na watu siku hizi wanaongea mambo ya kuteremsha bei ya gharama ya maisha. Bei ya gharama ya maisha hawezi kuteremshwa kwa maandamano. Sasa naona wengine wana shida kwa Twitter kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni. Gharama ya maisha sio ni upumbavu. Kushinda kwa Twitter kutoka jioni mpaka asubuhi kutoka mpaka jioni itakusaidia namna gani? Jamani, wale vijana tusiingie kwa hiyo line. Kenya haitaendelea kwa kuweka sufuria kwa kichwa. Sasa ukishinda kutoka asubuhi mpaka jioni, bei ya mafuta imeongezeka, si uchipe kisima yako.
Behind the drama lies a deeper play. Nairobi isn't just a city, it is a political mosaic. Kikuyus, Luos, Luyas, Kambas, all voting blocks. Kuria knows that Mount Kenya's vote even in Nairobi can't tip the scale. Analysts suspect Ruto's fingerprint here. By parachuting Kuria into the city race, he splits the Kikuyu vote, weakening Babu's momentum and keeping Sakaja's seat in friendly hands. But the gamble is high risk. Kuria's political base is 50 kilometers away in Gatundu, not the city's crowded estate. His name carries more controversy than confidence. As soon as Kuria announced, X went wild. One post read, "They have realized Sakaja can't beat Babu, so they're throwing in the drunken master Kuria." Another joked, "After being auctioned to a church mouse, he discovers his calling, garbage collection." But not everyone is laughing. Some Ruto allies quietly supported the move, seeing Kuria as the economic mind Nairobi needs. Others call it yet another distraction from real solutions.
Unfortunately, that is not the game some people are practicing for. Some people are practicing for football, and it is going to be a tennis match.
Wacha nikwambie, the national government, parliament inapeana bajeti ya 4 billion kwa school feeding program. County government inapeana zaidi ya 2 billion kwa school feeding program.
Okay.
The French government ya Ufaransa inapeana over 200 million for school feeding program. Wazazi wenyewe, kila mzazi anatoa shilingi 5 kila siku. Totaling to in a year inakuwa over 300 million Kenya shillings kwa wazazi wote wa Nairobi. So hii pesa tuko na over 5 billion Kenya shillings ya school feeding program. Over 5 billion. 5 billion unaweza tengeneza nazo kazi ngapi? Ili watu wapate kazi, upikie mtoto, abebe lunch, apeleke nyumbani. Sio shida kupatia watoto wetu chakula. Hiyo sipingi. Sipingi.
Okay.
Lakini what are the priorities?
This race isn't just about who collects garbage. It is about who controls Nairobi's billions, the beating heart of Kenya's economy, and the key to 2027 national map. If Babu wins, Raila's influence resurges. If Sakaja holds, Ruto consolidates power. If Kuria pulls an upset, Mount Kenya reshapes the game again. But here's the bitter truth. Nairobi's crisis is deeper than politics. It is about systems that don't work, budgets that vanish, and leaders who think tweets are policies. Whoever wins 2027 will inherit not a city, but a mess.
Sasa kuna mafala wengine ambao sababu ya siasa ati wanataka kukua sijui magavana. Watu kama wafanywe nini? Wafanywe kama wewe na bibi yako na watoto wako mmesiba. Achana na maskini wa Nairobi. Achana na mahasla wa Nairobi.
Nairobi deserves more than clever slogans and hashtags. It deserves courage, competence and conviction. Whether Kuria's entry is genius or desperation, one thing is certain. The capital has become Kenya's loudest mirror, and what it reflects isn't pretty. So, will Moses Kuria clean the city, or just add another layer to its chaos? The street will decide. Share your thoughts in the comment section below. For Maisha TV, I'm William Juma.